we're starting to see some life come back into the market. It's exciting, isn't it? Now, I want to ask you, how many of us came in here actually chasing green candles, as I call it, or came in because of a massive pump? Now, I don't know about you. I did. I'd seen Bitcoin go up from under $1,000 to over $6,000, and that caught my attention. And you know what? It's completely normal to come in chasing green candles, but it is detrimental to our long-term success if we stick with chasing green candles. But it's usually some kind of parabolic move that finally gets our attention, because we'd kind of heard about crypto, or we'd kind of heard about Bitcoin, but we weren't really interested until somebody we knew made some massive gains, right? And that's normal, but that usually means we come in at the top of something. Now, where at the top? It depends on what time we come in. Now, generally, crypto tends to go in these 4-year cycles. So Bitcoin halves every 4 years. By halving, what that means is the amount of tokens that are printed off every 10 minutes as a block reward goes down by half. So in other words, the increase of Bitcoin goes down by half, and it takes just as much mining work in order to earn that half of what used to be produced. And so what it has done is it's increased the value of Bitcoin over time. And as Bitcoin increases, usually the altcoins run with it. And this is what's been driving this 4-year cycle. Now, if you've been in any type of investment, usually from top of the market to top of the market, or bottom of the market to the bottom of the market, it's a lot longer than a 4-year cycle. So when I saw this with crypto, I was really excited. Now, I came in chasing green candles because, I mean, that's why we all come in. So when my friend had made some really good money on Bitcoin, told me about it, I looked deeper into it. Now, I'd heard of it in like 2011 or 2012. Somebody explained it to me wrong. And so I thought that there was no scarcity involved with Bitcoin. And so lack of scarcity is a principle that makes things not appreciate. So wasn't of interest to me. I thought, well, surely it will not do well. And when it was doing well, I thought, well, maybe I had some wrong information. So I came in chasing green candles. Now, I came in, I think my first amount towards Bitcoin that I had bought was at 6,200 or 6,800, and then some more at 7,400. On its way up to 20,000. I didn't buy at the top, but I think my last purchase was a 16,000 something mark. And then I started rolling that into altcoins as I really discovered altcoins. And that was my story. What's your story? When did you come in? Because don't we all come in chasing green candles? Now, the committed ones of us probably don't do so well right at the beginning, but we start to recognize what we did wrong and start to learn from our mistakes, right? That's why you're probably still here. Because it's not like there's been a whole lot of green candles lately. There's been a lot of red candles, yet you're here watching YouTube videos, which tells me you're the kind of breed that can do well. Because honestly, there's some people that are just going to chase green candles. When it turns away red and retraces to far below where they bought, they will panic sell and they will be out. They'll be out for 4 to 8 years. And so you're still here. So that tells me you're doing something right. So what are you going to do from here? Well, I think we're starting to see signs of life come into the market, and it was really kicked off by Axie Infinity's play-to-earn model, which in some countries that were really, really hit by last year's pandemic, and much of their countries shut down, and a lot of the products and services that they export had a decreased demand because of that. And so the economy's reeling, and you know what? They can play this video game and they can earn more money than they would be able to earn at, say, a factory job or some of the other jobs. So that's fantastic for them. And it's helped people realize that there's true money in crypto and gaming, which has kicked this off. Now, I don't know if this is a sign that the greater market is right close to its next major bull run. We've been in this little mini bear market pullback, and I feel like might continue a little bit. It might be just about done. I do think we'll have at least a major parabolic move, maybe two coming. I just feel like that's later this year, and we're right near the beginning of August, but we're not even into August yet. And typically we have a run later in the year after the halving, This one might operate a little bit differently, that we might have some kind of run later this year and then one more run the next year. We'll see how it plays out. That's just my guess. But I do have the command center operational. I have limited internet. They gave me a temporary connection that's slow while they get fiber runs, so I can actually pull up charts. And so I want to walk you through how I analyze projects. Now, this is how I do it. Some people might do it differently. I can't share with you what everyone knows because I don't know what they do. This is what has worked well for me. And it's not like I'm a billionaire yet from crypto. No, not close to a billionaire, but crypto has made my financial goals already. I had some goals for what I had hoped to make by the end of this bull run, and I already hit those numbers, and there's still plenty of bull run left, which has me excited. So let me share with you how I analyze things. Now, I talked about Axie. Let's look at Axie and share with people, no FUD on Axie. I mean, what they've done is tremendous, but I want to share with you some things. Like, look at this massive parabolic move here, and it went all the way to $50. It's retraced a little bit, but some things I look at Axie is, look at where their coin market cap or CoinGecko rank is. They're number 43 on CoinGecko. Okay, so that's really high for a gaming project. Now, they've turned out to be the number one gaming project. Doesn't mean it can't even go higher from here. It might. For me, this is not a buy-in point. This is a sell on the way up point. And I have lots of land items that you can put on your land. I've already sold my land. I actually already sold my AXS tokens. This is sell points for me. Now, I don't know where the top is going to be. Could be even farther up. I just don't know. It's hard to time the exact bottom. It's definitely hard to time the exact top. So I don't chase into these. Now, what has been on my mind is what other gaming projects will do well. But with the move, I've been outside my command center, not able to reach search things. So most of those plays, I've just had to watch them go past. And like I shared with you in my prior video, I'm looking at what might come next, and that might be DeFi. It might also be some of the launch pads that are launching new stuff. It might be ready for the ADA ecosystem to take off. Maybe the Kusama ecosystem, maybe even the Solana ecosystem. I know a lot of people are looking for a Solana summer. It would be a late Solana summer. It might happen. But I showed in my other video from my home what is going on with some of the gaming tokens and where they're at and where I think things are. But let's take a look at one of the Launchpad projects, and this is one of my favorites. It's definitely not the only one. There's lots of good ones. And this is Paid Network, and they actually now have 2 Launchpads associated with Paid Network. So I have CoinGecko pulled up so we can look at some numbers on this. So the first thing we want to look at is circulating supply. So circulating supply, according to this, is only 94,000 or 94 million. And what's interesting is their max supply is almost 600 million. So that tells you only 1/6 of the total supply is in circulation. Now, I don't love that. That means there will be lots more supply hitting circulation. Now, let's double check with Coin Market Cap. And let's just see Coin Market Cap. If their numbers, sometimes their numbers are not the same. So let's just double check our numbers. Okay, so they say the circulating supply is 83 million. So they say it's even less. What did we have here? This says circulating supply is 94 million. See, those numbers don't even exactly match. That gives us, they're saying the market cap here is 38 million. Now, that's a fair market cap. In fact, that's low for where Paid could be. Because Paid Network is not just Launchpad. They actually have some utility that's coming. But Kyle Chasse has, he's taken his token, made it drive some real value for investors that they can use it as a Launchpad token now to get into some good projects. Get them at the IDO, hopefully make some money at getting those projects at good prices while he's continuing to develop out Paid's long-term vision. So really what he did here is really cool. Here is Coin Market Cap's chart, and you see this nice rounded bottom. See, these are what I like, these nice rounded bottoms. You don't know if it will like have this upturn and then go back for more of a rounded bottom. It may happen, but when I see this kind of nice rounded bottom, that's the kind of stuff I like to see, because usually that tells you this is pretty close to the floor. Now, it's hard to time exactly the right price, but it did get as cheap there as like 24 cents and 25 cents. That was a great buy, and now it's up to 40 cents. Now, it could do this little blip here and then retrace some. So, though I can't usually tell exactly where the bottom is, I often trade these. Now, you'll see a lot of times some W's forming when it gets really attractive, and maybe we can zoom in a little bit closer here. So it's kind of like we have one side of the W. Oftentimes what will happen is Bitcoin's gone up and some other things have gone up, and then usually there's some kind of bad news bringing the price down one more time. And usually that second low isn't as low as this one. Now, this low dropped all the way to 17 cents. If you picked up Paid Network at 17 cents, you did amazing. So oftentimes they'll come back for one more leg of the W at least, and then sometimes it's off to the races. Sometimes you get a third leg to a W, and I know W's don't have third legs, but it still happens sometimes. I just refer to it as W's because they're easier to visualize, but there is a more technical name. So that's what's going on with Paid Network. There's lots of good launch pads. Let's look at Card Starter. This is one on Cardano that I like, and they're just launching today, actually, Spores Network, which I'm a big fan of. And that came through Card Starter. Now, they peaked all the way up at $80, and they retraced all the way to $15. Now, I had the chance to buy them back here at $3, and I missed it. I did not do it. I've kicked myself since, especially since many good projects like Charlie 3 launched through them, and I would have been able to get that cheap. So you see this nice rounded bottom? That tells me it might not be at the exact bottom, but pretty close usually. So from here, this is how I play these kind of things. I buy at these kind of lows when I see this rounded bottom, and then I just hold for periods. Now, sometimes when I follow this strategy, it does retrace, and that's okay. I don't panic sell. I just know that my plan hasn't come to fruition yet, and I wait it out. Now, my plan right now is that, or my thesis is that we will have at least one more big run this market. Now, we could have two. And the reason is I think the cycles are lengthening, and I did some math using how much the previous cycle lengthened from the halving over the one that happened before. And using some of that math said that this peak could happen as late as May. Now, that's a lot of time from now. So if that's the case, that the big blow off top will come in May, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another big run and then a big pullback. And then one last huge parabolic move that will catch a lot of people by surprise. Because I imagine what happens if this plays out like this is the next run, it will run up, and then when it retraces, people say, yep, that's the end of the bull market. Because trust me when I say the market tries to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. So this is my guess on how it takes people by surprise. We have another major run up coming later this year. It then pulls back, and people say, oh, that's the end of the bull run, and now we're in the bear market. And then they get shocked when we have a bigger bull run that comes later. So then they say, everything's changed. There's not going to be a bear market. And that's, it starts going massively parabolic from there, and that's when it crashes, catching everybody by surprise. Now, that's my guess on how it'll play out. We'll see if I'm right on that. We'll know within, 8-9 months? So this is Card Starter. There's lots of ones you could look at. There's some good ones coming out on Solana, some, one on Polygon already, another one coming out on Polygon called Polygen. And KSM Starter, I've talked about them a lot. I like that team for Kusama projects. Now, you probably know that Kusama and DOT are interrelated. Kusama is supposed to be like the canary in the coal mine for DOT, where a lot of projects that are going to launch on DOT will come out on Kusama first. And, test their stuff out, make sure it's all working before they'll upgrade over to Dot. Now, my guess is with Kusama, a lot of good projects will come on Kusama, find that they really like the ecosystem, and some of them won't ever migrate over to Dot, is my guess. That's why I'm a big fan of Kusama that way. All right, it's nice to have the command center operational. It's good to be with you. I'm, going to do some more things setting up this office. Just wanted to make this quick secondary video today. If I can get everything set up the way I want, I might start bringing you more than one video a day. Let me know if you like that or don't. That's cool. Put it in the comments. I do love hearing from you. If you haven't joined our Telegram, we have a Telegram group where there's some smart people in there. I can't have my eyes on everything in the market all the time. I'm just one person. And so some of my good calls have come from people in the Telegram. I'll also notice, though, anyone can join that link. So, like, if somebody's hitting you up for money on this and that, it's a scam. You know, so I do boot people that I see doing that, but just know in this space, not only is there a lot of money to be made, there's a lot of people trying to take your money, so you have to guard against that. Do appreciate you for joining us. I'm going to send it over to Manuela with our song for all you rainmakers. Rainmakers are those who commit to the 5-year plan of not just this bull cycle, that we probably have at least one more big run still remaining, but also the bear market that will follow, and then the bull run after that. And if you stick around for those 5 years, my guess is you're going to do very well for yourself. Thanks for joining us. We will see you soon.
Success is falling, flowing like rain. The timing's right, we're getting